6 watches I wear the most and will never sell, and why they might earn a place in your collection too. One is a watch every enthusiast should own, and many already do, and one watch might inspire a type of acquisition to consider for your collection if you want a watch with a strong sentimental connection. From nearly 100 watches, my take on a state of the collection focuses on 6 core pieces. I bought all of them. I've excluded project watches and self-builds, and I met with one surprise find at the end. I put affiliate links in my description to some of the products, meaning I can earn a small fee at no extra cost to you if you use them and buy something, but not all of the watches are things you can still buy, because this is my genuine top 6 lineup, irrespective of whether the watches have potential to help monetize my content. First up, a Tissot Heritage Visodate. This used by was inspired by my fascination with the Apple TV hit series Silo. Set in the 24th century, so-called relics are treasured, with the lead character having some affection for a then-vintage Tissot automatic. The on-screen watch, although the brand and model are not definitively known, some enthusiasts believe to be a Tissot every time, which this isn't, but it shares relatable characteristics. The dominating large dial and vintage vibe of this 40mm watch gave me the same emotional connection and compelled me to purchase this fantastic timepiece. Drop a comment if a watch from a movie or a TV show ever made it to your collection. I'd love to hear those stories. So this alluring watch has continued to overwhelm me, becoming a regular companion on my wrist. Why? The Tissot Visodate is rooted in innovation and timeless design. This reference was introduced around 2010 and is a throwback to the smaller cased, originally released 1953 models. Back then, the Tissot Date was the first watch to have an automatic movement with an instantaneous date change at midnight, but heritage aside, I wear it most days because I can. Some might save their more expensive watches for best, but the high quality materials mean actually I wear mine and get value from it. This domed sapphire crystal isn't going to get scratched, and it doesn't matter if the stainless steel case does. It looked a little beat up when I got it, but I refinished the case to like new in just half an hour. While I've got you, if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you already do, thanks for coming back. I don't see this model available now. If you want a similar vintage feel from the current heritage range, there's the Tissot 1938. It's not the same watch, but it has a similar silhouette and retro font for the logo. The 1938 benefits from a COSC certified ETA 2824-2, notable because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the ETA 2836-2 in my watch is basically the same movement with a day complication added, albeit not COSC certified here. And I did manage to regulate mine to +1 second. So buying older models on a used market as I have can be really rewarding if the latest offerings aren't your thing. Next up, the Hamilton Khaki Field King Automatic, probably the most recommended timepiece on the internet for your first Swiss automatic watch. Find a link to my complete review of the Hamilton Khaki Field Auto in the description. I somewhat complained about how I don't see it as a true field watch, even though field is in the name. I find its reflective sapphire crystal combined with a polished bezel pretty awful in direct sunlight. So what's it doing here? I can't bring myself to sell it because it's just too good at 3 things. First, it's immaculately presented with a finely detailed faceted dial and outstanding case finishing. The H40 25 dual movement has a massive 80-hour reserve and a neat trick of changing the date and day complication so fast I miss it, no matter how hard I concentrate to catch that moment. Second, and subjectively, it's notably more impressive than watches that cost less. When I can't decide if I look too scruffy to go out, I put on the Hamilton and instantly feel like it's elevated my presentation. Perhaps a subconscious thing, but let's face it, no one else cares what we look like, so if that works, it's doing a good job. It looks as expensive as it is, which brings me to the third reason it would be bonkers to sell it. Apart from the strap that I've abused a little, I've kept the watch pristine, so if I wanted to replace it in the future with another of the same quality, I'd have to buy new, which could leave me out of pocket by perhaps a few £100 since they just seem to keep going up in price. So it makes a good investment piece and is typically my first choice watch to wear out, just not outdoors. I don't think of it as a field watch. The best and most uncompromised field watch I've encountered is this one right here, which is up next. But first, this part of my video is sponsored by Pularys, who have been making leather goods since the 1930s. I've done hands-on reviews of many of their products on the channel, and to this day, as you can see, I refuse to be separated from this brilliantly simple and super practical minimalist leather wallet. This one is called the Hobby Wallet. It has this simple squeeze me kind of operation to access the cards, and you can see the soft Italia leather has acquired a fantastic rich patina and is molded to the shape of the cards I store inside. Pularys is a family-run business now in its 4th generation, so every stitch carries nearly a century of expertise and tradition. Pularys offer a wide range of wallets for all use cases and are made with premium, responsibly sourced vegetable tanned leather, which means they only get better with age. Best of all, Pularys wallets are made in their own long-established factory located in Europe, Poland, ensuring consistently high quality and an unmistakable artisan touch. So when you choose Pularys, you're investing in something made with care and real craftsmanship. Find a link to their store in my video description. Again, that's an affiliate link. If you use it and buy something, I can earn a small fee. Watch number 1 I'd best categorize as a dress watch, and number 2 a staple wardrobe piece. The field watch, however, best suits my routine and preferred aesthetic. Watch number 3 of my 6 is the CWC G10 field watch. It delivers where most other manufacturers fail, coming nowhere close to the benchmark set here. So good that earlier models of the CWC G10 became the first quartz watches issued to the British forces in 1980, with thousands since entering service. Early models differed only in that they had fatter cases, accommodating a deeper movement, earning them the nickname Fat Boy. Oh, and the logo changed to the now familiar oval in '82, but the watch's rugged DNA remains the same today. A no-compromise field watch, accurate, dependable, and tough. It uses an acrylic crystal. Acrylic is roughly 10 to 20 times more impact resistant than sapphire crystal of the same thickness, and is the least reflective crystal choice for uncompromised legibility of the dial, exactly as a field watch should be for outdoors use. And this is lightweight at about 40 grams without the strap. The watch features the ETA FO6.402, a Swiss quartz movement tucked into this 36.5mm stainless steel case. The vintage-inspired white-on-black dial uses highly effective superluminova on those raised indices and on the hands. The handset looks like stainless steel, a small detail that really elevates it from the plethora of plastic-looking, chrome-plated brass hands that many watches have nowadays. I put a more comfy seatbelt type strap on it that's the same colour as the original. It's got a neat trick too. I purchased mine about 3 years ago, and it started to show the low battery indicator where the motion of the seconds hand is delayed. Then it scoots along in fast succession, about 4 seconds. That's not the neat trick, this is. It's got a battery hatch where you can open it with just a coin. I think mine cost around £270 new. They're a little more now, and that's given me a much more useful watch and better value than going through a succession of cheaper wannabe field watches I've owned and sold on again or previously reviewed. In goes my Renetta 371 cell. So the definitive military field watch, tried and tested over decades of service. My 4th watch and second Tissot in my lineup. Manufactured in 1944, it's 81 years old, predating some pretty significant and terrifying events in history. I sometimes ponder the stories it could tell, worn through times that reshaped the world as we know it. It gets more daily use than any other in my collection, except in the summer when I prefer to sport a larger watch. But this 31mm, which was a predominant size for its vintage, tucks nicely under long sleeves the rest of the year. It may have cost several weeks' wages in its day because Much more craftsmanship and manual skill went into making a wristwatch than is typical now, so don't expect a jalopy. Its 15 jewel Tissot caliber 27 mechanical hand wind movement is more precise and satisfying than most modern watches I've experienced, even by today's standard. I can position the hands with extreme precision and lots of feel when I'm setting the time. It's very, very quiet in operation. It's satisfying to wind, and the movement keeps better time than, as a familiar reference, better than most my NH35 watches. And what watch can you buy today and expect to work for more than 80 years? I think someone has hand painted over the numerals and indices at some point, and I'll redo the 12 if I'm brave enough, but they stand out really well against a dial that now has this fantastic patina. Although I could make the stainless steel case like new if I wanted, I'd rather hold on to its decades of time-worn character than polish away its story. I hope it might inspire you to pick up a vintage piece for your collection. And it doesn't have to be an expensive brand. From Tissot to Timex. This is a piece I alluded to at the start of my video when I mentioned a type of purchase you might consider for your collection if you want a watch with a strong sentimental connection, which of course won't be my watch, but you might enjoy hunting down a birth year watch, a watch from the same year you were born. I don't think I'm going to zoom in close enough to the dial to reveal my age, which is given away by the reference. In fact, I'm a year out anyway, as I wasn't paying close attention when I bought it, but we've bonded now, and it's close enough. This Timex Mercury is chrome plated, typical for the late 70s, and is without any pitting. I only needed to put a new crystal on it for about £3. This is a no-jaw hand wind movement that are really rough. In fact, apart from a tidy case and stunning dial, its only redeeming quality is its connection with my own history, which creates a strong enough pull to put this on my list of top 6 watches that I wear the most. So go see how much fun you can have scouring the usual online auctions for your birth year watch. My 6th and final watch of those you're most likely to find on my wrist is a Casio MDV 106, or the Duro, the Marlin, whatever you know it as. I almost disqualified this because I have 5, so technically I do wear a Duro on many days of the year, but rotate them. This legendary Miyota-powered watch has earned its place in countless collections, sitting alongside much more expensive watches. It blends rugged reliability with timeless style and shocking value for a 200-meter diver. It also boasts an impressive lineup of celebrity owners. I've made detailed reviews of this watch, so we'll direct you to the link in the description and round up my state of the collection video with one surprise find. There's no digitals. Shocker. Perhaps a third of my collection are digital, but none made it to this lineup. Also, quality matters if you want a watch you can use every day. You don't always have to spend more for quality, but it's helpful. You are probably not great quality and are here for affectionate reasons. Though you do still work, after almost 50 years. Okay, sit with the others.